Hello and welcome to what I hope is the first in a long series of blog and vlog posts on the topic of how much did this website cost. Now, before I get into explaining why we did this, I should probably start by introducing myself and Lattimore and Friends. My name's Ben, I am the Lattimore in Lattimore and Friends, and we are a web development company that works almost exclusively with branding, creative and design agencies, helping them win and deliver amazing web work for their clients. One of the eternal questions we get is, how much will a web build cost? And I think a unique challenge for us working with our agency partners is the nature of how clients expect projects to be costed. It's not possible, and we totally understand, for our agency clients to go to their client, a new brand, a new organization, a new charity or whatever, and say, right, discovery phase is going to be this, the brand is going to be this, the identity is going to be this, the social media elements are going to be that, but the web development, who knows? We'll have to see when the designs are done. It's just not realistic, and no one's going to sign that off. So we're very comfortable and very prepared to give quotes, almost sight unseen. What that means is I am prepared to stand by a number once I have seen a small technical brief, a sense of the sitemap and what we're going to be going forward, and some visual examples of other websites that share the same animation, share the same level of transitions, level of functionality as the one being sought here. Typically then, another thing that we love to do becomes really important, which is UX and UI support. When we give a fixed number up front, it's important then that for cost purposes, for collaboration purposes, for eventual build purposes, we're involved in that design process. And this can be hugely valuable to our clients, and we wish more would take it up. We're never afraid to jump on a call, and we never charge for it. We'd love to look at wireframes. We'd love to look at different phases of design, different concepts of design, and knowing the budget that we've previously agreed, we can then give advice and recommendations. And I'd say it's not always negative. It can be for every 2 times we're like, oh, maybe let's ease off there. Maybe let's pull away from that design, from that animation, from that transition because of budget reasons. We can actually say, push harder there, go further there. We did 140 billable projects in 2020, and that covers everything from 2-hour bug fixes to much larger 5-figure web builds. So, yeah, imbalance there. But we see a lot, and I've been working in web development for about 8 years now. The studio's been going for almost 3. We know the libraries, we know the plugins, and we can say, actually, you've got an amazing opportunity. We could use this library to give that amazing effect, that amazing page transition. We can use that plugin to give that in-depth bit of functionality, which maybe you didn't expect would be possible, for your clients. So that's one of the things we do, and to try to help our agency clients give price transparency upfront to their clients and ensure that there are no surprises at the end. So that comes down to this series, and the idea here is to try to find websites that are similar to the ones that our clients regularly bring to us. We probably won't be looking to cost up, Netflix.com here. That's not a typical client of ours, but you'll see as we go through the series, we see this amazing website for Phantom, a creative and branding agency in Greece. The next one will be on Getty Residences, which is a really attractive real estate project. And these are the kind of things that we see an awful lot from our clients. Portfolio websites, real estate websites, and as we go along, we'll explore other ones. And what I would love is for people to get in touch. Email me, ben@latimorandfriends.com. Hit me up on LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you can find me. Snail mail with some websites that you'd like costed up. And after this rambling preamble, I guess I'll move into the website itself. You might have already read the blog post. This is coming out after that one was produced. So I'm going to focus on the things that I highlighted there. First and foremost, and as we scroll down, you can see it quite clearly, the animation and transitions. It's nice. It's smooth, it's considered, it's confident, it's not too whizzy, it's not too crazy. You're not here thinking, oh my word, what on earth is going on? Also, dancing lobsters, I'm totally always up for. Now, one of the things that leaps out to me as a web developer is that it's not, that's a bit clunky, wasn't it? It's not hugely challenging. This stuff is libraries that I'm sure I've encountered, I know our developers would have encountered, and that's a key thing here when it comes to budgets and costs. If there's a library we can use, especially for animations, for transitions, for all this nice advanced front-end functionality, if there's a library, the cost is not far off zero to implement it. We're talking a couple of hours for some light customization potentially. However, if there's not a library, if we potentially would have to code this up from scratch, that's expensive. I'm talking thousands of pounds expensive, and just not valid, and just not required, I think, for most projects. You'd have to really, really consider why you were pushing that solution on some of your clients. Look at the menu here. Again, really nice, lovely transition. That's a really nice effect there. But again, relatively simple, all quite easy to implement and to put down. What we would probably do in a project like this, especially, how we would love to have received a design like this, is the flat designs, definitely some mobile designs, I think, because some way this would break down at mobile would be interesting. I haven't looked at this for a while, so I'll remind myself. Nice, yeah, quite clever. They've completely shrunk down the whole scope of the menu at mobile. That's a nice idea. What we'd ask for, typically on a site like this, is the designs, obviously, and then one of our clients does an amazing thing where way before we get to the project being signed off, they'll send me a Google sheet with a list of animations. Another one of our clients did it in a Google Doc and found 10 amazing animations for different aspects of the site. They used awards.com to find examples. This is a dangerous website, very dangerous. So many of our clients go on here and go, oh my word, what an amazing animation, what an amazing bit of functionality, forgetting that the reason why it's on here is that it's probably very expensive. Not always at all. And sometimes it's at least it's an example that we can then go and hunt around the code for. If someone does find a nice animation, we can look and see if it's a library we can borrow. So not to say don't use this as a source animation. We use it a lot. We're on here and have some award-winning projects on here as well. Very nice. But yeah, so talk to us early about animations and give us a sense of where you're thinking. So something like this is really, there's a lot going on. I think as we go through different pages, it stays quite busy with animation. So we'd probably look to add on an extra probably half a day at most to the quote to ensure that we didn't run out of time, that we weren't sort of begging and borrowing time to make sure it's perfect. Because if you're going to commit to this level of animation, like this nice subtle effect, you've got to commit to it wholeheartedly. You can't cut corners, otherwise it just looks a little bit sad. And yeah, you see here, there we go, put in a whole day for animation transition contingency. It's also there because it's one of the things that is quite hard to QA. It's quite subjective how quick something in, how it moves, what the easing, is there easing, is it linear, is it ease in out, is it just ease in? There's lots of questions, and honestly sometimes the best way to handle that is just to go, do you like it? No. Do you like it? No. Quicker? No. Faster? No. Slower? And just try to, just working it together. And because of that, it takes time. It's not something where, you can go, oh, this is 40 pixels too big compared to the Figma file, where, that can all be handled remotely really easily. It's one of the reasons why we don't do it very often, because we don't have much call for it, which is a good sign. But with back in the old days, one of our pre-COVID days, one of our sales pitches was that we'd always happily finish projects in-house, because there's anything around font sizing, animation timing, spacing, kerning. That's a miserable experience to try and work out through email or even through our preferred project management software. We use Airtable. It's still just miserable. It's just too subjective. So what we've found is better is that sometimes you can't just be sitting next to someone. And back when I was coding more for the company, that would be me. Now it would be one of our project managers or project assistants going on a call with you, having one of our devs have booked out for that period of time and just rapidly going through stuff, changing a few pixels here, changing some milliseconds here and there, and seeing the response. So rather than spend hours and hours of incredibly frustrating, incredibly annoying time, and ultimately still not getting to a result either party is happy with, we'll just get it done. We just do it together over the phone, and work on it together. And in an hour and a half, 2 hours, you can avoid many hours of painful discussions. So filtering can be a challenge, and there's a few different ways we tackle it, and they have different cost points. This one takes this approach, which is probably one of the easiest approaches, because essentially it just takes you to a different category, a different archive.php or taxonomy.php for each one of these. So this is a really, really easy version. Another really easy version, if we go to the blog post where I mentioned this, is when we haven't got to worry about pagination or load more, we can use this amazing bit of kit. And I like this. It's nice. Sorting and filtering, really attractive. It's really powerful. And the problem here is that, to be fair, you can try and make it work with load more and pagination, but it's challenging. This is very much designed to be used with show all, and the entirety of them appear below. So if you have thousands and thousands of projects or products or something, it really isn't the best bet. But where appropriate, this is a really, really nice solution. If we go back, this is an amazing tool. This has changed our lives as developers in a big way, because we've done bits of this, and frustratingly, a lot of this before in custom code, and before we discovered this plugin, and it's a game changer. The way it handles so many different parts of the filtering and sorting and searching, it's really allowed us to, and this is the key point, it allows us to deliver and develop better, more feature-rich websites for less money. And that's where the world is now. That was where the world was going before COVID, and we're very aware, looking into 2021, 2022, there's still going to be work, but are the budgets going to be the same? Probably not. But are the requirements going to be lower? No. And that's the thing. People want more from their websites, and it's using tools like this which allow us to do so. So let's, I'll stop elaborating and use an actual example. So this gives it here. This is our go-to for when there are lots and lots of ways to filter and sort what we're looking at. We did work for a property company. I'll share the example here. And we will use it to power it's quite advanced properties functionality. Like this is even available through the plugin itself, which is really exciting. You can actually search by area, which is very cool. It also makes, if we go back to it, you'll see here as we click it through, it actually makes a URL which is shareable, which is really powerful. It's so useful for so anything where you're sharing it with customers. You're sharing it with other people. It allows for that level of social sharing. So this is our go-to one. It also, you can see here, allows for load more. The downside is if you go through all of their demos, I'm sure, especially as hopefully people watching this are designers, work for design agencies, they'll see a recurring feature and that it's pretty goddamn ugly. And there's not an awful lot we can do about it. We can do some light tweaks, like if we go to made to measure. It's our product to help agencies save money on smaller, more corporate builds. Maybe a video to have in the future. We'll see here. This is powered by Facet, and we're able to sort of make it work. Change the module types, the columns. You see here the hero. We're making this build out multiple. The query is additive. The query grows the more you add to it, but it's still not. This won't win any design awards, so that's the downside. Which leaves the final version is this version, custom Ajax code. It's cool, but it's expensive. It means that we have to hard code an Ajax call, and Ajax in this sense. I'm going to keep it fairly clean, but and a more technical person is going to shout at me, absolutely, but I'll take it on the chin. Essentially, it allows us to make another call to the database, to the WordPress database in this case, without having to reload the page. So let's assume we've got these 5 project types. Let's say we had client types here, so unicorns, real estate, cars, flowers, going along here, and we want to see unicorns that are also packaging. We put that together, then this section will probably load out and then fade in with the posts that meet all the projects that meet that requirements, that are both unicorns and packaging. And then we could have a nice little load more, which then loads in more of that query. But it is expensive. It is more challenging, and we struggle to recommend it sometimes. It's often not. There's better solutions. Facet is often a better solution if you have lots to be filtered. Otherwise, if you've got 10, 15, 20, 30 projects on a website, Isotope, that first example, this one here is often a really, really good option. It starts to get a bit funky when you're looking at beyond 40, or if you've got lots of imagery, then it can get a bit clunky. Nice. Okay, yeah, I think that's all there is to be said on filtering, at least on this one. And the last thing that really stuck out to me was something that always gets forgotten. Boom, and that is a nice 404 page. I mean, the recipe for tzatziki, incredible. That is superb. That's probably my third favourite 404 page, because apparently I'm the sort of man who has favourite 404 pages. That's a sad thing to realise, isn't it? Just because people will ask. Number one was the old Bloomberg news one. It was this crazy thing you did not expect it to happen. There was a guy in a suit collapsing. It was a cartoon. It was mad. Don't know why they thought they'd get away with that. It was up for 2 years before they obviously realised that the developers had gone mad. Next one, the second one is a general MailChimp, before they had that dreadful rebrand to that awful yellow and black nonsense. When they had actual character in their brand. There were some amazing ones. There was one of there was a Star Wars themed one which I adored. Anyway, this is not a vlog about 404 pages. Maybe an idea for a future one. But yeah, so this is great, and we're not saying all our agency clients have to put this level of detail into it. Don't have to do the animations, of course, but never forget 404. It's really important. It prevents people getting lost. Here takes you back to the home page. it can be as simple as just 404 written on the screen. But, and as I'm alluding to with my examples, it's a great place to show off some character. And these guys, do it fantastically well. Their Greek heritage, their kind of brand and visual style. Well, yeah, look at these. That's amazing. When you hover over these, you get these amazing little effects, which also aligns to the project category pages themselves. And the last thing is a legal template. Really simple thing, and it always gets forgotten, but especially if you have clients in the EU, if your client works in the EU, they're going to have to meet more stringent GDPR requirements, more stringent privacy policy requirements. I think in Germany you have some other requirements you need to have on your website, and just a really simple yet branded privacy policy page for long streams of text. It's really valuable now, and it means they'll have lots of options going forward. Okay, and so I hope this was valuable. I mean, probably too much to say enjoyable, but at least maybe useful. We'll go for that. Again, I'll say from what I said at the start, if anyone has any ideas or any websites that they'd love to see, if you want to get a sneaky double quote on something, send over one you've had worked on before. We're always happy to do that. But anyway, hopefully this was useful. I'll try and do more of these, as I didn't hate this experience as much as I feared I would. And yeah, if you've got any questions, comments, I'd love to hear them. Contact me at ben@latimoreandfriends.com. I'll put the email address down below. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you again soon.